We are back again with another episode. We hit the double digits last week, and we didn't even congratulate ourselves for the fun hard work that we've been doing on this show, man.
True enough.
Episode 11.
That is it takes some consistency, it takes some dedication.
Every week. This is like the freshest of food that you get. These are real-time results, and
for real, a lot of people don't make it this far.
I mean, absolutely, and I know it, I talked to a few people and they say like we kind of cheating because content is given to us by the sports world and stuff like that. But hey, everybody there, give it a try and tell me how it goes for everyone else.
Right?
Yeah, we enjoy what we do. So LT, man, how you been? Another day, another fight week passed. It's Sunday. What's good?
Man, it's Gucci. It's great. I can't keep up with everything that happened. Even though I watched it, it's like something happened, something else happened. I forgot the last thing I just watched, and I kind of had to do a whole refresher.
I know, man, and that's the beautiful thing of incorporating the whole idea of combat sports, because one thing that we definitely knew after in COVID, during the COVID quarantine time, is we love that entertainment, man.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to take it for granted. So let's just go directly into it, man. Let's talk about this weekend's fight. Okay, before the weekend, let's start with Thursday.
Hey.
Let's talk about PFL and the debut.
I don't know if you see my shirt.
I see that.
My shirt says it all.
I see that. Flint, Michigan. I said Flint Hill. Flint, Michigan's very own Carissa Shields.
Yes, sirski.
How was that debut for what's your take on that fight?
Okay, so ground game needs work.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was worried for the first 2 rounds. But she's an athlete, right? She's strong, she's determined. Yeah. And like I said, she got heart. Mm-hmm. And I trust her hands. So hopefully she has a quick learning curve because that's the game plan. That's the strategy. Yeah. Everybody get her onto the ground. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be the game plan for this whole season. So get used to it. But she's got to learn how to, when they shoot, catch them coming in.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And also, like, there's a disadvantage in that fight I saw just looking at anatomy. The girl that she was fighting was about 6 foot tall. Mm. So in like MMA, that is a big thing, especially with takedowns. And you see how dominant the height that a person like Jones Bones has, and how long he is, and how he could do that, and he could pretend that he's throwing a punch, but he's actually sneaking in the shoot. And it's just so sneaky when you're that long.
Those nuances.
Yes, the small stuff like that. But from what I gathered, it was an amazing debut.
And look, Brittany had chances. Brittany had her opportunities to end it. I seen a point where I felt like she should have put her in the crucifix. She was in a full mount, right? I felt like she should have put her in the crucifix at one point.
She was in a full mount teeing off and failed to put out. I was impressed with that because most boxers, most stand-up people, most strikers, when they're in the full mount and someone is teeing off on you, just going crazy, people either panic or act too slow, or when you panic and you do the wrong movement, I think you can find yourself in a submission or even getting knocked out.
And then here's another thing. So just like in the boxing game, if the person is not defending themselves, referee's going to stop in the match. There's a point where Carissa could have been active, just active, but she'll figure that out.
Yeah.
So it could have ended sooner. She could have ended it sooner.
Yeah. Shout out and salute to Carissa. Man, it's amazing that you just stepped into a different arena and did your thing. So let's move on to the weekend. Should we stay in the MMA world, or should we just move? Let's talk about boxing first. Okay. Let's talk about Shakur Stevenson. Okay. This happened last night. This was in Mexico. This was for
Vegas.
Where? Vegas. Oh, they fought in Vegas. I thought it was in Mexico. My bad. Sorry. They fought in Vegas, and this was for the WBO interim super featherweight title. And he fought Namibia's very own Jeremiah Nakatheria. Nakatila. We had our predictions. We thought he was going to not knock him out, but give him that torture where the referee's like, yo, you're doing too much, relax, TKO. But it was not that. That was not the case. Although, from what I'm reading, because I missed that fight because I was watching MMA at that time. I was watching the UFC, UFC 263. From what I was reading from people writing about it, it was a domination.
Of sorts. And look, Jeremiah Nakatila was game. Okay. He didn't know he was the B-side.
Right.
And if he did, he didn't care. So he said, I trust my power. And he did some things that were kind of a little slightly awkward for Shakur. You know? So it forced Shakur to adjust. And so I was looking for Shakur as a generational talent. I was looking for him to, what I like to say, solve that puzzle and really show some separation, like a lot of separation.
Absolutely.
But he did enough to survive and win the fight. And so that just tells me that the opponent is deserve way more respect than we gave.
Absolutely, yeah. And definitely Jeremiah, definitely you get all the salutes, man. And now that you did that, your name is on the map, and we'll talk about you. We'll be watching. You won't be just. Well,
it's gonna be some people ducking him now too.
Right. Yeah, we have our eyes on you, and we'll keep monitoring your progress in
he'll be a good measuring stick.
Yep. Did you see any undercards? Anything that caught your eye? Particularly, do you want to talk about boxing before you go to MMA?
I did see the Pedraza undercard. There's a kid prospect on that he and his opponent named Hammerhands. And Hammerhands is promising, but Pedraza just showed way too much experience. Sniper with the jab. So it's back to the drawing board for Gonzalez, but Pedraza showed why he was a title holder and is a title contender. So
absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's all written, man. It's written like that. And I mean, that's why I love boxing, and that's why I like sports. I mean, fight sports, combat sports. Moving over to MMA, we had a UFC 256. But before we do that, we talk about the UFC 256. Let's talk about Bellator. We had made our predictions about this one. Douglas Lima versus Yaroslav
Amosov.
So your prediction was, I mean, I think you may have, I said Amosov. I think you may have also said Amosov too.
I picked Lima. I went with Lima.
Yeah, because of his resume and what he had done before, and he had an illustrious fight career.
Exactly, and we really didn't give him his flowers justly leading up to this.
Right.
But that's in the past, and he got totally dominated in this fight.
Right. Yeah, and we talked about the element of being undefeated and the element of you being, you're a veteran. You've been around. I mean, you don't have too many losses, but that did that element play a big role? Like you could tell the undefeated fighter in that case, or he was just, you know what I mean?
Well, yes, you could. You could tell that Amosov was the undefeated fighter. I don't think it played a psychological role with Lima, so to speak, because he's been around the block.
Right.
But when he got in there, he was definitely frustrated.
Yeah.
Flustered. And I expected him to just show a little more, I don't know, just a little more.
Yeah.
But that tell you how bad of a man Amosov is. So.
Yeah.
Now, what I would like to say is somebody caught my eye on the undercards.
Let's talk about it.
Aaron Pico. Now, this guy just totally undressed Aiden Lee. I mean, completely in every facet. If you want a complete clinic on MMA, watch that fight.
That was just straight up domination.
Oh my God, ragdoll. And then like Aiden Lee is an explosive fighter. Like he was attempting things that are like very dangerous, potentially dangerous. And it was like he's getting caught in midair and just Yeah. So if you wanted something to go back and look at, check that out. And I'm looking forward to seeing.
Pico.
Looking forward to see where this guy goes in the future.
Okay. I have him on my notes right here. Pico. Keeping it in the mixed martial arts world, let's talk about UFC 256. Before we talk about the main event, we'll talk about the fights that led up to that main event. Let's start with Leon Edwards versus the bad boy himself, Nate Diaz.
BMF.
bad man. I mean, to me, a sneaky great fight. I sometimes I forget, because we live in a world where, what have you done for me lately type of thing. So we forget who Nate Diaz is and why he's very important for the fight world. Not necessarily for his technique. It's just his grit. This dude is just gritty.
Entertaining fighter.
He's absolutely like he was target practice the whole 1 to 3 rounds. And then the last, and I remembered, that's why Nate Diaz is great, is because he can take punishment and that is his strength. He's like, okay, now it's my turn. Now it's my turn. And that happened in this fight. If there was a 6th round or 7th round, Leon Edwards was going to go to sleep.
And that's the thing. So you have to have a respect for fighters that can push that button.
Yeah.
It's the Hail Mary pass.
Right.
They never say die. Like, okay, you've completely dominated up to this point. So now I'm throwing all caution to the wind.
Yeah.
And I'm about to get off what I can get off. And if I got to take something in the process, so be it.
Nate donated blood that night. He donated so much blood. It was ridiculous. The canvas was it was bad. It was just typical Nate. I think his face bleeds easily. I don't know. Him and his brother, like, they just known for that. But that dude is tough. Tough nails. Leon Edwards won because picked Nate apart in the beginning, and there's no undeniable. If you win 3 out of 2 rounds, I mean,
right?
What's there to say? Let's talk about the fight after that. I was really impressed with this young man from Mexico, first natural Mexican, not nationalized, but a Mexican born in Mexico to win a UFC belt. Mm-hmm. And that's Brandon Moreno. He was fighting Davison Figueroa, and this was an amazing fight, bro. These are 2 chess players. Like, it was genius. Like, it's kind of like looking in the mirror and just somebody just, as soon as you make your move, it just matches it. Like, it was a dance off.
The perfect dance.
It was
partner.
amazing. And of course it ended like how I predicted. I want to take credit for that. It was a submission Davison got submitted by Brandon. But man, I followed Brandon on Instagram just because of that fight. I was like, I need to follow this kid. Like, it was an amazing fight, man. And I want to replay it. I want to watch it. It's Sunday. We watched that last night. I had to watch my kids, my daughter, and I also had to, do some yard work earlier. So I want to go back and watch that. Moving on to the main one, Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vittori.
Part 2.
There goes that man again, man. That was class. That was in session. Teacher in session. He got on the ground and overturned full mounts and made them his lead up to his attack. Like, I think he just said, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere, lock myself, and practice this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Because I'll tell you this, Vittori looked way stronger, man. Vittori was strong. He was just tough. Sometimes I would say Vittori got better with the boxing. But there's a moment, I'll send you a clip where I'll probably put it up here, where Izzy did the Muhammad Ali, let dude just swing at him, and he was just in the matrix, just moving. It's kind of like, it's crazy how sophisticated of a striker that he is, that we don't really, like, how we never gave Anderson Silva his full flowers of being one of the most sophisticated strikers ever.
Right.
He's not a textbook striker, like, hands down, like Roy Jones, and his movement was so... Bro, it's amazing. And it's the reason why I put him in my top 5. I'll send you that clip. Vittori, worthy contender, worthy opponent, but he was frustrated.
And I caught it in spots, but it definitely looked like there was an elevation.
Yeah, maybe Jan Blachowicz may have made him, because Vettori did what he had to do. Like we know Vettori was way stronger than him. Slammed him, took him down every time he could. He could take Izzy down easily, which is very impressive because Izzy has very good takedown defense for a smaller, taller, lanky dude. But dude was just flipping him over, but Izzy was finding ways to get out.
To that build, it's just something to say that like he's very efficiently built, right? Mm-hmm. Every single pound on his body is distributed evenly. Yeah. So there's not like, how do you grab on and how do you keep hold of somebody like that, you know?
And he looks so skinny. He looks so small, but really and truly he's long. He's 6'4".
Right.
So like that can be deceiving. He could be packing like a 215 and you don't know he's like 215 pounds.
That's why I was very careful with what I just said there.
Yeah.
Like,
it is very deceptive, but yeah, I mean, it was an easy win for Izzy. I don't see them fighting again. I could definitely see a Robert Whittaker Israel Adesanya fight. I mean, that's for the future. So we're gonna transition to, and this show is gonna be a little shorter than normal because we already talked about what's gonna happen on the 19th in the boxing world. But LT,
sir,
who's fighting, man?
Who's fighting? All right, UFC Fight Night. We talking about Chen Song-jong versus Dan Ige.
Korean Zombie. It's a results part of the show, and we are going to talk about results. I'll say Korean Zombie submission in 3. Round 3. What say you?
I like the name Dan Ige.
Okay.
Not just the name, but I've seen him before, so I trust him.
Yeah. This is June 19th. Okay. So you're going with Dan. All right. So UFC 264. We already skipping over 264 after this. This is way in July. It's July 10th. We have part 3 of Poirier versus McGregor. I'm not really excited about McGregor. I think McGregor is it's for the name right now. Right. It's like, and forgive my language if kids are watching this, it's like you're dating somebody because there was something in the 90s like, oh, I'm dating Halle Berry. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just joking. I'm saying, yeah, I'm dating Pamela Anderson. I mean, oh man, McGregor is a name.
Right.
But I mean,
you got a hole in, I guess, you got a hole in the schedule, I guess, right? You got to fill that hole. So,
dude is a billionaire. I mean, he's a millionaire or something like that. He sold all his liquor stuff. He's making money. I mean, I don't think he's all right, we'll see this. I say Poirier gets him again. I don't know if it's going to be a knockout, but he's going to get him again. What do you say?
I mean, yeah, obviously we're going to go with Poirier. McGregor is a brand. Right. He's a brand at this point. Personally, I hope he does come back and I hope he does win and focuses and kind of revitalizes his career and we can extend this on because there's some excitement around it. But, he's to the point where this really should be it, right? But he's not going to be on any undercards. Right.
I definitely, for me, how I look at his legacy, it's only right that he diverts into exhibitions and fights the Logan Pauls of this world. And because he's a brand, I mean, we already know he was never the greatest fighter in that division. I mean, he was good, but he's an amazing promoter. He's an amazing mouthpiece. He knows how to get people excited. He knows how to play with people's stereotypes and stuff like that. He knows how to play. And Dana White leans into him being him. So, in all actuality, fighting active, hungry people that have not even seen 100 mil like he saw it with Floyd, it's going to be hard. I mean, how do you get inspired after getting that bag like that to go and do that type of, manual labor and, waking up? I mean, it's a different type of grind.
That's a good question, but is it also necessary to keep his brand alive? Because that's what he built his brand on.
His brand has got so big that it's it's out of the octagon.
Has he already done the WWE thing?
I mean, that could be the next move. But again, how is the WWE have enough money to keep a guy like him? He's such a boss that he'll be his own promoter and do the whole TikTok, whatever, Thriller thing. And just, he's such I can definitely see the biggest fight money grab would be Logan Paul versus McGregor. In first 2 rounds MMA, second 2 rounds boxing or something like that. A 4-round exhibition where you meet me in both worlds and see if you can survive type of thing. And just play with people like that and then just get money. Hey, if you get that idea, that's my IP, my intellectual property. So hey, break me off.
At some point, we're going to be talking about chess boxing on here. That's the direction we're going.
Dog, that would be crazy. See old rappers like who had beef back in the 90s. It's like, did you see that Lamar Odom versus
I did not watch it.
Daniel
man.
What's his name? Nick Carter? Aaron Carter. Yeah, that was so sad.
I mean, there was off script, there was also like a YouTube event where there were YouTubers boxing in Hard Rock, and they packed out more people than the Mayweather event did. I mean, and the only reason I know about that is because one of them went to the gym where my brother trains at down there in Miami.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's the beauty about being a capitalist and living in a capitalistic world. If you have what it takes, they'll take what you have, and you populate. And hopefully, families are getting fed from this stuff.
Oh, somebody getting fed. Yeah. Somebody eating.
I mean, LT. I mean, we've said it best. We already gave out. We put our stake in the game. Mm-hmm. Last episode for the boxing is about to happen. The Julio Chavez, Anderson Silvas of the world. We'll let our thoughts and our predictions manifest. Mm-hmm. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been another great episode of
Who's Fighting.